himself and just go directly in towards the Maelstrom. Wouldn't hate that either. They've got a lot of damage inside of their own Chronosphere. They've got a good ball that they can kind of get going with that Helm of the Overlord. They can play behind Fly, who's going to be on this Enchantress. So they definitely got ideas to be able to play something a little bit different. Oh, Arrow of the Gods.
Crits, man. Crits. All right. Rana, what's up? It's a long-range arrow with no setup. All he had was the enchant slow from Fly. But nonetheless, he's able to get that kill. Know that there are going to be some of these big items coming in from a Team Liquid, so having a hand Midas would help a lot. Scaling potential is always quite nice. Now that they have started to roam a little bit with Crit, they might actually just choose to stick him around in this bottom lane, but at the same time, we have a smoke from Boxy and Insania. They're like, well, if supports are moving, we want to be able to do the same, but unfortunately, Abed really dipped back into the jungle. One thing that is interesting about this game for me is that I look at all of these cores. All the core heroes in this game are not mobile. They're like, sit in my lane, farm forever, for as long as humanly possible. It takes me quite a while before I feel comfortable moving off this. It's going to be the supports all the time that are forced to make these movements on their behalf. Otherwise, the map is just not really going to change. It's still sticking around middle.
Abed.
Boxy comes back in, had the patience to wait for Abed. There will be a LSA with an arrow that connected onto Matu. Matu dies first. They do eventually get the kill onto Abed, but hashtag worth for the side of EG because they might be able to pick up more off the back of this. Crit will have arrow again in 2 seconds. Insania, you are dead to rights, my friend. Boxy is doing his best to try and block the angle of the arrow, but not going to be allowed to do so. And now because of this, he might be the one that gets arrowed himself. Crit leaps away. Boxy misses the tree throw. Now he's in danger. You have your boxing shoes on, your dancing shoes on. He had them yesterday, or earlier on today rather, in game number 1, and yesterday as well, frankly. He was juking everything. Looks like Crit is aware of how good his shoes are. Won't even choose to try and throw out the arrow. Great play middle though, coming in. EG, though they lose Abed, they intercept the gank and get a massive kill of their own.
Yeah, that's big for them. Yes, they do lose Abed, but they get the transition there onto Matumba Man. They get the transition back on towards Insania as well. So Liquid are doing a good job at reading the movements around the map. Crypt just being in the right place at the right time. They understand they can kind of just leave Nightfall to his own devices up in this top lane. He's going to be okay. Yeah, he's going to lose some of his wolves, and it's going to be hard for him to out-push a Leshrac, but at that point, you're more than happy with how this is going. You know, Arteezy is having a good time towards the bottom lane. Abed's feeling pretty good about how his game's going. And once they start getting towards these first couple of items, these first couple of level 6s, it's really going to be on, as you said, the supports to make these rotations. You know, Matama Man, he's on a lone druid. He wants to start getting a lot of these items up. Zai wants to get his first, you know, his Wraith Pact, Blink Dagger, his BKB, all that kind of jazz. And it's a while before Team Liquid are actually able to get a ball going towards these towers. But a good spot right now to be able to do it because, as you said, EG also another one of these teams that kind of wants to sit back and farm for a little bit. So maybe we're in for a little bit of a slow one here, Snap.
Ah, slow one with me and you? A long game? Say it ain't so. Never seen that one. A lot more considerate affair. The scary thing though is that once Team Liquid do get online and do feel comfortable balling up, my goodness, they can knock over buildings. Hurry between the Leshrac as well as this Enigma. Both sides of the map quite quickly. First chrono of the game though, Arteezy connecting onto 2 as Abed also showing up for this one. The Laguna Blade will kill off the Enigma, but the avalanche from Boxy onto 3 sets up for the kills onto Abed and Fly. The lone survivor being Arteezy, but a great rotation coming in from Team Liquid. There were 4 heroes they committed to this bottom side of the map, but if it grants them a kill onto a hero like Abed, certainly well worth it. And they didn't have to commit the black hole for that one, so the big bubble comes in from EG, but they don't have to commit their bubble on the side of Liquid.
Yeah, EG did a good job at trying to utilize their first Chronosphere, but you can just see the instant rotation that comes out from Liquid. Insania was already here, so it was a big old Chronosphere that hit onto multiple members, but as soon as they saw that Zai was getting gone on, they TP'd in Boxy, they TP'd in Matumba Man, massive avalanche, toss combo, was able to catch out Abed, and losing your Lina there doesn't feel all too good if you're EG, right? Like, obviously, you're sitting at the third of the net worth right now, but you can just see what happens when Liquid get some free time towards these towers. Matu makes that rotation, gets himself a double kill. Now he walks towards the tier 1 tower and takes that down, while as EG, they have to try and make their own transition on the other side of the map with Nightfall. They want to try and get this tier 1 tower of their own and try and alleviate a bit of their own pressure, but it's just going to get into this scenario where What do they get done with the Chronosphere? What do they get done with the Black Hole? And who is able to have this time with these towers is going to be the real question for me as we move forward in this game.
Inside the Radiant jungle, freezing field. Casted by Insania, first one of the game onto Fly. It's really satisfying when you see an Enchantress die. Getting hit very quickly with magic damage and physical damage. Quite nice. Just wanted to make sure that she's not really playing inside their jungle, stall out EG a little bit. Down bottom, Zai wants to commit the Black Hole. Look at this. He wants to set up onto Arteezy. He's calling over Matumba Man. Soft in the trees. Midnight Pulse will break the trees. They know where he's at. They found him. Black Hole gets committed. Zai still has Maleficent done. Will he need it? He absolutely will. And the roots will come out from Matu, preventing him from being able to jump away with the Q. That's the first big kill onto Arteezy. Top lane as well. Mickey in danger here. He's being surrounded by these EG heroes. So they strike back quite quickly all across the map. As soon as they lose Arteezy down bottom, they go and kill Mickey at top. Mickey is their safe lane for the side of Team Liquid. So, G, making sure that nothing comes free in game number 2 here for the Dark Horses of Liquid.
Yeah, and Liquid having to commit the Black Hole here, so there's at least 170 seconds without them having to worry about that. Unfortunate thing there for Arteezy as well. The fact that he time walked in towards the trees meant that it didn't have time walk even if he got outside of the... But now Matu, he has this DD rune. He's getting closer towards his Desolator. I really like when I see these Lone Druid builds. You just see Masker Manus in the Desolator. You can go for something like a BKB or even like an AC, Basher. All those kind of items that just allow this bear to be very, very strong. And so what the bear can do yesterday, Ghost was able to win a 70-minute barn burner. Him just ratting out the entirety of Boom Esports. And this time around, I think Team Liquid are a little bit more straight up dudes and more than happy to fight this one, mano a mano. And we can see that this game is just starting to slow down a little bit. They're going to see if they can try and get a kill here on Zai.
A pretty easy one with the bubble. Crit has access to this arrow to follow up with the stun. Quick kill. Also an Urn charge, or a Spirit Vessel charge. Fully completed for Crit as Marana. Pick that one up now as well. I mean, this Spirit Vessel is also... This might be one of the reasons why it's also quite nice to have Marana in this game. You have Spirit Vessel for when the Bloodstone does come out for Mickey. Certainly will help to kill the Leshrac at some point pre-BKB for hit.
And I think we also just saw the kind of combination with the Faceless Void as well, right? You can kind of just like walk yourself back, throw out a nice little arrow, and you're able to get that follow-up outside of the Chronosphere. So not only is the Chronosphere going to be 5 seconds at max level, but then you also could potentially be copying a 5-second arrow. We see the arrow that comes in. Awkward angle there from Crit. They're able to catch out Matumba Man here. This could be massive. They just picked up the hand of minus about 30 seconds ago on Arteezy. So if they're able to get the kill key onto Matumba Man, maybe even just get rid of one of his bears, then feeling in good spot. But Team Liquid, they're very, very happy with how this is going. Now they're going to be able to put the pressure on the tier 1 tower and the Bloodstone up on Mickey. He's going to be a hard hero to deal with. This Disco Pony is very, very strong right now with the Bloodstone, and Team Liquid, they're happy to wrap behind.
They get the toss back into said Rainbow Pony, saying, well, Crit, you really want to see us? Okay, fine. Come through, fam. Get the quick kill. Get the tower out of this as well. Team Liquid. This is the beginnings of what they can making happen on the map. They're pushing in down bottom. They just got this quick tower kill through mid. Slowly but surely, they want to try shrinking this map. We're going to see this Leshrac also heading into the Radiant Triangle. That's a space that Arteezy can't really occupy right now. He has to play down bottom. Nowhere else feels super good for him. Nice plays happening by Team Liquid. They're about to get Black Hole again in the next 15 seconds, so they could decide to make a big move on the map once it's back off cooldown.
Yeah, they can start to put the squeeze on EG because they're definitely not ready to fight, right? Like, they still need Arteezy to start moving towards his first set of items. He wants that Malshar up, he wants the BKB. Arbed now has his boots of travel, getting closer and closer to his own BKB, so he's getting close to being able to fight. But Helm of the Overlord just on the periphery here. We're looking to see how EG weather the storm from here on out. They need to try and hold on towards these C2 towers. They need to try and hold on to this game before it starts to blow out. And this is why I like this. I did like this Team Liquid draft, even though I did pick EG here. I think a little of the bias was showing, but they have just good heroes at being able to abuse the fact that EG want to play this game slow, right? Like, they've got a Leshrac and they have a Lone Druid here. Both heroes that are more than happy to sit back and farm. And as long as they're getting kills with those Black Holes as they make the rotation and don't get turned on by the Chronosphere, Liquid are in a pretty good spot. So it's going to be about this mid game. It's going to be about who is happy to get these fights going at different times, right? There's going to be certain timings you want to hit. You want to hit this Desolator timing on the Lone Druid. You want to start hitting that BKB timing, and even this Blink Bloodstone timing for the left as well. Oh, Arteezy.
Oh, Arteezy, but frostbitten down bottom. This is tragic. They did this. He was actually trying to escape because they had Moonlight Shadow triggered, sensing that a gank was coming his way, and they just quickly get the kill anyway. Oh my god. Well, that's also about to give the gold for Blink Dagger over towards Boxy. You're talking about them exploiting how this EG drops is going to play slowly. Even look at top lane. And Nightfall's supposed to be pressuring. He can't actually put pressure on this lane. There's so many heroes on the side of Team Liquid that can keep clearing out these waves. You have this Leshrac. You have the Enigma that can just go park there. You have the Tiny, who's usually been occupying that space. Or even the Lone Druid if necessary. Either way, the tier 2 tower is still 100% healthy in this top lane. Nightfall, unfortunately, he can't even join the rest of his team just yet to try and be involved in some of these fights. In the unfortunate stage of the game right now for the side of EG, but they're gonna try and maybe make a play because Crit, Fly, as well as Nightfall Lycan are together, but what really sucks is that without the Faceless Void, without the Lina, doesn't actually feel like these heroes can make any plays. Erstwhile, Team Liquid, they smoke up as 4. They want to reveal this Blink Dagger of Boxy. Hasn't found a target just yet. The low ground. Might go north. If he finds Nightfall here and tosses him back, this would be so painful. I think Nightfall recognizes that he's in some degree of danger. Backs off. He's going to be fine. Fly, maybe not so much. Fly actually DPs out like a boss. Baits out the Avalanche after he's already gone. And Crit able to escape on the eastern side as well. So Team Liquid, a lot of their time has been wasted in the top part of the map. And yes, they wanted to make a play, but them not making a play turns out to actually be really good. Upbit and Arteezy get all the space on the map as a result.
Yeah, they just kind of walked past a few of these EG members. They weren't able to see Crit, they weren't able to see Nightfall, and they weren't able to get that final catch on the Fly as well. So a little bit more time here for EG. Liquid are in a really good position right now. It's going to be very, very hard for EG to try and get a stranglehold back on this game. They have the BKB up here now for Abed. They also have the Home of the Overlord on Nightfall. So they at least have something. They've still got their team fight to always fall back on as well. You can never count out a Faceless Void Chronosphere. You can never count out Alina in these fights.
You can't even count out a random arrow connecting onto you for a 4 or 5 second stun. Something now. Able to find an angle of approach just yet. Fortunately, their relative lack of map control makes it much more difficult to make these jumps. And mid lane, Boxy jumps onto Arteezy. He gets feared. He gets right-clicked down. And the Faceless Void is gone. Freezing Field coming in from Insania. Abed though goes BKB with the LSA to cancel it. But here comes Mickey. Bloodstone is a-going. The damage is a-coming. And they're going to lose 2 because of it. A double kill for this Leshrac. They might not be done just yet. Boxy does come across Nightfall, but not able to get a correct lead onto him. However, with these 3 heroes being dead, and especially with Arteezy having fallen to the wayside, this opens up the path for the Roshan pit. Are going to be getting an Aegis into the hands of, I imagine, this Leshrac, but Matu could take it as well.
Yeah, just Team Liquid is playing really clean. They understand that as long as they catch the Faceless Void, they have to force him to try and get a time walk off and then try and get a Chronosphere. That it is also hard for EG to be able to get these team fights going. Liquid are starting to take a pretty big stranglehold of this game. Mickey had an absolute blinder of a game once again, 12,000 net worth at 19 minutes into the game. Matu was one that picks up the Aegis of the Immortal. Liquid, they've got everything in front of them. All they need to do is start taking down a few more of these towers. They can start pressuring the tier 2s. EG are definitely not ready to fight. Arteezy is not in a position right now that he wants to try and fight. He needs to have that BKB so he can try and survive some of this burst that comes out. Same thing with the rest of some of these other heroes. You know, Nightfall we saw in that previous fight. Yeah, you click the Lycan ulti and you run towards the Crystal Maiden. But as soon as she hits the freezing field, she's got so much armor and she does so much damage to you that it is oh so hard to try and come out. Oh, once again, Box has been found. Found Arteezy as well.
Gets caught out. There's a Chrono though coming in from Arteezy. He killed the Crystal Maiden first. Boxy's inside of this bubble as well. Between Abed and Arteezy, they are able to get that kill. The reinforcements from Team Liquid not able to respond in time because they're busy sieging a tier 2 in the top lane here. So this is going to be a small degree of exploitation from EG, allowing themselves to get up onto the map. Does come at a cost though. Tier 2 tower in exchange for 2 supports and a tier 1. I mean, you're happy as EG you're getting something, but you also know that you're starting to lose more and more map control the more these fights go this way.
And that's the scary thing, right, is that the map's starting to get smaller. This map's Starting to get darker as well. Zai has the BKB. He's just gonna walk in. Oh my god.
Abed, the usage of the LSA with the BKB actually cancels Zai's black hole. He doesn't have a BKB of his own. This is a great time for EG to try and re-engage. They know they don't have to worry about a bubble. And they also know that there's at least 2 of the core heroes down bottom. Mickey realizes this as well and blinks to safety underneath the tier 2 tower. But where's the catch gonna happen? Oh no! Mid lane crit walked underneath the sentry ward. So the Moonlight Shadow does not provide him with protection as Zai ends his life. Still EG down bottom. They still want to try and force a fight somewhere. They're going onto Arteezy. Arteezy! He was baiting so they could turn with the chrono, but he gets blown up. He's not survivable enough to survive the burst coming in from Boxy and the Leshrac. And while this is happening, look middle. This push has been on from Matu and Zai. Dude, what am I seeing, Fluke? They're able to win fights on bottom, take towers on top and middle at the same time without even needing the full lineup. And they baited out the death of Arteezy. Tier 3 towers now gonna fall. Very quick jump. Mickey going into the base already, looking for the kill onto Fly. But Fly will be able to stay alive. Abed finds the LSA onto Mickey. Still not enough damage to reliably threaten the Leshrac just yet. They know Arteezy's coming back, but they also know he doesn't have a bubble as Crit gets thrown back by Boxy. Boxy's on a mega kill streak. This Tiny has been on one today. Just Boxy in general has been on one. Rax almost certain to fall here. Yep. Well, the way things are looking, Fluke, I think they're going to be on 2 today.
You know, the 2-0 here against CG would be big for them, and this is what we always talk about when we talk about this Team Liquid squad. You have to be so careful about how you draft against them, and this is why I talked about this game 2 being oh so important for these teams to really kind of figure out who's winning the mental kind of warfare, who's winning the band chicken, like who has the better kind of ideas about way these drafts do work out. I really like this Team Liquid draft. Well, they just open up with the Lone Druid. And I think this might start leading teams a little bit more towards first pick. Just being able to protect a carry like Lone Druid just opens you up to so much more in these fights. You go in, you pick this Lone Druid, you've already realized that it's going to be an Enchantress plus a Faceless Void. You feel good about how it's going, and Team Liquid, they play so well around the Lone Druid. They play so well around hitting these perfect timings and kind of trying to close the game out. They're doing such a good job right now, and everybody on Team Liquid is playing fantastic.
Look at this wrap though from EG. Want to try and break this up. They've smoked up all the way behind. They really want to find the Enigma or any other bigger target first. Arteezy still has access to the bubble. Who's he going to commit it on? He hasn't used it just yet. They've already blown up the Enchantress, and now the Chrono comes out. But there's a freezing field. Arteezy can't put in the damage. They eventually do end up creating Crystal Maiden. Now Matu trying to get himself out of dodge here. He's in danger, losing his life slowly but surely. Does still have an Aegis though. The fear preventing Arteezy from getting the final kill. As Boxy somehow still alive will eventually end up going down, but Arteezy getting turned around upon by Mickey and Matu, and they're able to get the kill. They don't even burn the first life of the Lone Druid. Abed ended up dying as well. Fear throws back Fly, so he cannot escape either. As the only person able to run deep away is going to be Nightfall. Crit is forced to hide inside the trees, and EG has seen enough. They do not feel they have what it takes to keep this game going, so they throw in the towel, they call GG, they ensure that Team Liquid are not just on 1, they are on 2, as they secure a victory, the first series victory over the side of Evil.